Hello and welcome to my video, all about how to make a pincushion from an old bra. I'm sure any fellow crafters out there can understand, but I'm always looking for new things to make out of items I don't use anymore. And that's why today I'm going to be recycling an old bra into a pincushion for a sewing machine. In order to follow along, you will need these items. Note that if you don't have an underwired bra, you could add wire to a non-wired bra instead to provide the structure. Right, so first of all, you need to break down the bra into pieces. You're going to need both cups, so separate those, and also the straps. Then take 1 cup and cut it down at the top to the approximate size you want your pincushion to be. Note that this piece will become the front panel in the finished pincushion. In order to visualise the size that you want this to be, it's best if you hold it onto your sewing machine where you want the finished pincushion to go. I cut mine down to just above where the underwires come up to. Make sure to keep the wire intact. Next, you need to cut out the other cup, removing the underwire and the patterned fabric layer on the front. Also remove any remaining threads. Take this piece and pin it to the front panel you've already cut out, like so. Make sure you do this with the right sides together. Then use a straight stitch to sew along the pinned edge. Make sure you backstitch at the beginning and the end. You shouldn't be sewing close to the underwire, but just be careful anyway, as you do not want to sew over that. Turn this shape right sides out, then pin and top stitch along the same edge. This will stop the shape from being so rounded and will create more of an angle along the seam. Note that top stitching is just where you sew with the right side of the fabric facing towards you. Then I used a needle and thread to sew the short side edges together as well. Depending on how you cut your fabric, you might not have these short edges. I chose not to use a sewing machine for this just because I wanted to avoid sewing over the underwire. And now we need to cut out the cardboard back. So cut out a piece of cardboard the same size as the back opening of the pincushion. To get the shape, just draw around it like so. I also scrunched up some aluminium foil and glued it to the centre of the cardboard, as it can help to sharpen the points of sewing pins. If you don't want to add any foil, feel free to leave it out. Then apply strong clear glue to the bottom edge of the opening. Attach the cardboard and use clips to hold this in place until it dries. The point of the cardboard is just to provide a flat back for the pincushion to rest on the sewing machine and also to prevent the sewing pins going straight through the pincushion. Once the glue has dried, you can then add the stuffing. I just used some polyester stuffing. You can then glue the fabric flap down onto the back, or you can glue this flap on the inside instead. Just make sure that whatever you choose, you pull it quite flat under some tension as you glue it. And then we need to add straps, and for this I'm going to reuse the bra straps. I'm going to add one on each side of the pincushion, and I'm going to use a needle and thread to fasten them into place. In order to know where they need to be positioned, you should attach strips of self-adhesive Velcro to one end of each of the straps, like so. Then you need to use pins to attach the other ends of the straps to the pincushion. Test it out on your sewing machine and reposition the ends of the straps attached with pins until you're happy. You want the straps to be under a bit of tension, and it also looks better if they're symmetrical in appearance. As you can see, I sew the straps on very simply with whip stitch. And the final step is to sew the Velcro pieces on to secure them properly. To do this, I use the running stitch. And that's it, the pincushion is complete. I really hope you enjoyed this project, and thank you very much for watching.